The game certainly didn't go our way. With 5.5 minutes left, I decided to get some of our depth guys into the game, give them an opportunity to compete. I'm very proud of how they went in there. Bruce Brown led that group, and I think it got to be a 20 or 21 or 2-point lead for them, and we got to cut to 10, and it forced them to put their starters back in the game. And I'm just proud of the way those guys competed. I like the way we competed tonight. We just didn't play well, and it wasn't our night. What happened after the game was unfortunate. There was a misunderstanding about the game ball. It was Oscar Tshiebwe's first official NBA point, so we always get the game ball. We were not thinking about Giannis's franchise record, so we grabbed the ball, and a couple of minutes later, several of their players ended up in our hallway, and there was a big I don't know what to call it, a fracas, melee, whatever. I don't think any punches were landed, but my general manager got elbowed in the ribs by one of their players. And so he certainly has a bruised rib, and who knows, if it's anything more than that. But unfortunate situation. We don't need the official game ball. There's 2 game balls there. We could have taken the other one, but it didn't need to escalate to that. And so, really just, unfortunate. Third game we played these guys within 2.5, 3 weeks. So things are heated with the competition. And, I understand all that. But for it to come into the hallway didn't need to happen that way.
All right, just to get a little bit more detail there, I'm sorry. How did it escalate? I think.
I'm not sure. I'm just explaining what happened. There's people tweeting things out there. I'm telling you exactly what happened. I'm not naming names, but I think it's pretty clear, who was involved. And look, it's just, the thing ended up being a 3-hour game, with all the things going on and a bazillion free throws and all that, and just too much.
Sorry, just to clarify, you said that your guys' PM was elbowed by a Bucks player?
Don't know who. Okay. Don't know who. I don't know who. I'm not naming any names. I'm just telling you what happened. There were 4 or 5 of their guys in our hallway, So anyway, just stuff that doesn't need to happen. The thing with the ball is just, we don't care that much about the official game ball and, all that kind of stuff. But anyway, unfortunately, that'll be a bigger story than the game.
The ball was a tipping point, but you had bad blood or whatever because of the competition level and familiarity and getting tired of seeing each other. Did that all feed into that moment, you figure?
I can't speak in detail on that because I can't read minds. So, but the words unfortunate and unnecessary, I keep repeating. So I think that explains enough. A lot of things. Unfortunate, unnecessary.
Were you at all surprised that when you pulled your guys out that they left their starters in for as long as they did? Was that, or did you kind of want that so that you had the opportunity to put Jairus and Ben and Oscar in those situations against those guys?
No point commenting on it. I think it's pretty obvious what the answer is.
I mean, obviously in the midst of that, Giannis goes off for.
What's that?
Obviously, before all this, Giannis scores 64. You obviously spoke in the beginning about how great a player he is. I mean, just what and what makes him difficult. I mean, what made him, I guess, even more special than usual tonight. Prior to all this.
Yeah, I mean, we got to do a better job on him. Not going to get into anything about how the game's officiated or any of that stuff. No point. There's no point. I mean, people at the league office will see this in HD, as will everyone else. We had a rough night. They had a great night, and the thing at the end was unnecessary.
When something like this happens, how do you kind of approach that as a coach? Do you address it? Do you just kind of let it go? Like, I just curious, how do you kind of address that?
It's none of your business.
Okay, so what happened? The Aaron flagrant, was that just that he just, kind of an accidental thing where he just landed on his arm and just transpired?
I was a little confused on it. I thought he grabbed him and tried to hold him up. I was confused on that, and I was also confused on the Bobby Portis play where he broke Isaiah Jackson's nose, and it was called a good basket. So, but we'll find out. We can, if we want, we can submit that stuff to the league and get an explanation. But officials, they're trying hard. They're not perfect. So I'm not going to kill those guys. I mean,
Isaiah has a broken nose.
At the time, I thought I'm no doctor, but he was gushing blood out of his nose, and then they finally got it to stop at halftime. But look, it's just you're on the road in the Central Division. I mean, this is the way the Central Division was 18 years ago, with Indiana and Detroit and Chicago and Cleveland and a lot of competitive teams. And so, this kind of competition is what the NBA should be about to a point, But these kinds of experiences are experiences our players can learn from, because they got to go through these things. For where we aspire to go. The emotions, the physical level, all those kinds of things are things we have to experience. Raucous road arenas, all that stuff. And so, it's experience that we will learn from.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.